Hey, Boozy.
Yes?
Is Alkali wearing your trunk suit?
We'll play. We'll play.
Hold on. You guys, thank you. Guys, what about the tuxedo t-shirt over here? He told me about a week ago, he's like, hey, do I need to be there for the super sponsor? I'm like, oh, you're basically running it outside. He's like, okay, I'll be well dressed. I walk outside the room, and there he is in the vest and a tuxedo t-shirt. Because you know what, John? You can't spell classhole without asshole.
Hey, it means I'm fancy, but I like the part.
Thank you, John.
What time is it? We have 1 minute. The cockroach, he's sitting there by the giant yellow kitty.
Oh, kitty!
Would you like to have the cockroach join us?
I think that since we can't kill him, join him.
Hello, you've been drafted.
Can I bring the kitty?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Uncle Kage and Kitty! I'm sorry. Very, very buff Kitty.
Hey, D-Guy, do we have 2 mics? One works fine. Pandas can scream when he gets here. This is what happens when you blow off the first half of my panel. Fuck.
Will you blow? Would you blow? Oh, we don't need stands. He'll just keep it in his face.
Actually, yeah, he should do.
I want to start out by apologizing. I found out today that there is an app out there called Instacart. And that Instacart will deliver anything to you within 1 hour of placing the order. Sir, I was going to have them deliver essentials to you during this panel, but they just notified me that the essentials would not arrive until well after the panel, so I had to cancel the order.
I'm sorry, what are essentials?
Lube in a 12-pack of Lifestyles pleasure condoms.
You think I use condoms?
I don't know, maybe you want to water balloon fight or something?
I believe the door side would like to say something. What's up, my dear?
No, I'm just delayed in getting the crowd badged, Master.
Why do people keep calling me that?
Yeah, your head this in.
It's cool. They're actually my kids, so we're good.
So you're saying since your kids, they don't count?
I assume you're going to have the badge checked so that you can be mature.
There is no one mature at this table.
I mean, taking contributions.
I am a pretty princess.
Why does this always happen at the beginning? Oh God, what did you do this time?
Is it a cowboy boot of pickles? Oh God! No! I have to do this! This is my problem!
Speaking of essentials, thanks a lot, asshole.
Why? No! That was a very loud thump.
$100 in nickels.
You're welcome.
No.
Is this a cowboy boot filled with nickels?
Yes,
oh my
it
God,
is.
that is having you actually hurt my finger.
It is a cowboy. It is a cowboy boot full of nickels.
They're all rolled this time.
No, wait, don't open it.
Don't let it fall. Oh, Petco, wait a minute, that's a hamster.
Let me.
Open it.
While we're waiting,
Everybody gets theirs and we're off the stage.
I'm noticing there's no air holes in it.
They had been for the last con they brought. We were joking, and I said I wanted somebody to donate to a convention with a top hat full of pennies. So they brought out a top hat full of pennies. At which point I began pressuring people to deliver a cowboy boot full of nickels.
$100. Charity.
Now, allow me to say,
Open your boxes.
what I am doing is building a wardrobe one donation at a time.
Okay.
Guys,
I've opened mine.
when it comes to class, there is no better class than bringing a cowboy boot filled with nickels. Thank you.
What's next, Sandra?
Open the box.
L'chaim. It is our Rabbi Crawfish.
I
He's got a little pair of scissors, and he's saying, snip, snip.
Oh my God, guys!
I thought that was a
That was
voodoo
roommates
doll.
of my life.
He
Guys,
thought we were
let's
a
hear it
snip
for our
man.
super fans. Thank you
All day long, I snip pieces off you. If I were a snippy man,
got a little yarmulke.
wouldn't need the scissors. La da dee da 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 dee da dee da dee da dum. If I were a snippy could what?
Read the sign.
Did you already kill this crawfish?
It says snip, snip.
It comes apart like a puzzle.
Oh, it's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
printed, so it goes together.
There you go.
Oh, I have some interesting news for you. So recently I broke something at my job, which means one of my little toys I keep on top of my computer is gone. I think there's just enough room for my new Jewish rat.
I'm going to put this on my desk at work and not tell my coworkers what it's all about. I'm just going to let them figure it out.
You do realize that your other co-workers figured out that you were Uncle Kagi from day one? What makes you think they don't already know about Rabbi Crayfish?
Sneep, sneep.
He's got the Fox and Moore scarf on, though.
I love the fact that this came out of a crawfish running around my room after I got flung out of the bed naked.
Snip, snip.
And us deciding that the crawfish had to be a rabbi, and more specifically a moil, performing circumcisions.
Alkali, I'm so sorry.
I'm Rabbi
I'm not
Crawfish.
sure if this is how I got circumcised. I don't remember.
This is my
This could be it.
specialization. Exorcisms and circumcisions.
Okay, hold them up so we can get a picture.
Oh, guys, let's get him up. Let's get him up.
Once I got the two mixed up. Snipped a little skin off the devil's nose and caused a little boy's pee-pee to take leave of his body.
Isn't that called high school?
That's from an old comedy gag called The Hexorcist from the 70s. You guys are too young.
Not all of them.
Oh.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. This is Monkey Knife Fights, and we can make introductions.
Snip, snip.
We are building a puzzle at one side of the table, and I'm making them stay up here.
I like a little yarmulke on that.
There is a little yarmulke.
I love the fact that my daughter's now on the panel for the 18+1.
She'll be 18 someday.
Such a good. Well, I was gonna order this guy lube and condoms, and then my child came to assemble a crawfish beside me.
With a yarmulke.
My friend, what are you doing, and why do you have glasses?
The flask of strange concoctions did not make it to the con this year, so I decided to give you something a little simpler this time.
Oh, I like simple. Why are there two glasses in front of me? Oh, because you know I'm an alcoholic. Yes! I am an alcoholic in love. This counts as marriage. And I get to take half of it when I divorce you. You want the other half?
Cabo Wabo Tequila Blanco.
Hell yes.
That sounds like a magic spell. Cabo Wabo Tequila Blanco.
Dude, I thought that was the newest Fortnite dance. What?
You didn't by any chance bring the corkscrew, did you?
It was in your...
Did everybody get to the con okay? How many people drove?
Don't let this fall over, dude. It'll break something.
How many of you drove more than an hour? How many of you drove more than 2 hours? How many of you drove more than 12?
Okay, how many people think they're going to drive tonight? Look outside, think again.
The best.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Right, Wisconsin.
It is fa la la la.
The best part of driving to this convention was I told someone it was a 12.5-hour drive. Their response was, planes are a thing. If badgers were meant to fly, I'd look much more awesome.
Excuse me, catapults exist for a reason.
Actually, I drive because I enjoy driving. I like taking trips and going places. Years ago, I drove to a small town called Albany, Kentucky. Has anybody ever been to Albany, Kentucky?
I've been to Albany, New York.
Population 1/2.
Does anybody here know how to get to Albany, Kentucky?
Sneeze.
Allow me to tell you. You get on 65 south in Louisville, you drive to Cave City until you see the sign that says beginning of nowhere, and you get off the highway. You take the state road for 2.5 hours to Burnville, then you see the sign that says middle of nowhere, that's where you take a right turn. You go another hour and a half till you reach the ass end of nowhere. That's where you take a left. Drive another 45 minutes to the taint of nowhere. You're almost to Albany. I don't mind that drive. I didn't mind that drive because I got to play my personal favorite game on the way down, Spot the Meth Lab. Trailer, double wide satellite dish above ground pool, 3 bitchin' Camaros. Somebody's cooking.
At what point did you see Heisenberg from Breaking Bad?
I look out the passenger side window. Halfway there's a gift shop on the side of the road. It reads gifts, collectibles, kayaks, because that's an impulse spot.
You know, on the way from Raleigh to Pittsburgh for Amphicon last year in West Virginia, when the satellite lady took us off of the highway because of a backup and took us on the back roads in West Virginia, we actually passed the Church of Trump.
Oh.
It was a big church. The entire front was painted with the word Trump.
I totally thought it was going to be orange.
I don't think it was orange. I think it was red, actually.
That's worse.
Really tacky gold.
Really tacky gold, yes.
Trump fence. The one that somebody took and painted Trump on their picket fence.
Just steal the tea. It pisses them off.
Like right up the street from my parents' house.
What's going on in the South? Are you guys okay?
It's the South.
I got to Albany. Albany had 3 wonderful attractions: the courthouse, the pancake diner, and the titty bar.
We're all the same building.
That's one fucking building, guys.
I was going to say, like, did the titty bar come with pancakes, or was it the other way around?
Oh no, the best part was when the bailiff said, "All rise, the Honorable Mirage now presiding on the main stage." Lawyer in the back jumps up, "Erection, Your Honor."
He's been waiting all weekend for that.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
definitely. No, this is, I mean, a lot of it, and that's the thing is, this is true. Is I get there, I go to the pancake diner because it's the only thing to do. I ask the waiter, like, I walk in. It's like a scene from one of those old West movies where you open the saloon door and the music fucking stops. I walked in, banjo boy at the counter stopped playing. The waitress comes over to take my order. I say, "What is there to do in Albany?" She goes, "Sometimes we go to Burnville for the movie." Burnville was 3.5 hours that way. The movie was Cannonball Run. It was the only thing they'd shown for years. Stayed up at number 1. Said, "No thanks, what else do you do?" She goes, "Sometimes we go kayaking." And I take a look at the people and I'm like, "No thanks, I have seen that fucking film." She goes, "You're not from around here." I go, "Was it the fact I had all my teeth that tipped you off?"
I will say, I did get to travel down to the South recently, and as I was driving, Xander looked over at me and said, "Wow, what a perfect 4-way intersection for the South." And I realized that it was a empty lot, a church, a bar, and a high school football field all in the same corner. And without missing a beat, Xander goes, "Man, if that empty lot was just a hate crime, we've got it." So we stopped.
By the way, Boozy, I understand you mentioned this town of Albany. My understanding is that is actually the town where the modern toothbrush was invented.
Well, they just had the one tooth. They shared the brush.
Anywhere else would be the teeth brush. That's the thing.
God damn it!
Hey, I'm half Southern. I can say that.
Actually, Albany was fun. I had gone down there. I did stand up like 13, 14 years ago, and I had gone down there with a couple of comedians from Louisville to do just a horrible, horrible set at what was the titty bar. It was. Albany was a dry county, which means you couldn't buy or sell liquor in the county. And under Kentucky law, you couldn't have fully nude dancing at a strip club if you sold liquor. So it was really weird because one road was right on the Tennessee line, and on the Kentucky side of the road, it was all full nude BYOB strip clubs. And on the Tennessee side of the line, it was all liquor stores. So you had like the one country road to hell right there. It was me and two other guys who were just we were horrible comedians. We were doing a set at the Titty Bar. And it wasn't like we were doing like between dancers. They had us up there doing little 5-minute bits. They had us on the side stage throughout the whole evening. And the club DJ wasn't stopping. So you'd be like, take my wife, please. Remember, gentlemen, there's a 2-for-1 lap dance special going on right now. Right on the fucking punchline. Which didn't matter because no one was there to see the fat comedians. The best part was the club, which did not pay us very well, did actually put us up in the nicest hotel in town for that night.
The nicest hotel in town.
You haven't seen anything until you've seen 3 fully grown men in the bathroom staring at the toilet seat going, yeah, we're pretty sure that's blood. And it's soaked in. Hey, go get the duct tape out of the car so we can take a shit.
Hold on, did you just say it's soaked in? You mean it was soaked into the porcelain?
Yep.
That's not how anything works!
No, it's not. Trust me.
That was not coming out.
You need better Scotch Guard.
It wasn't my home.
Oh, okay.
Jianlong Seva, say something classy. Thank you, Jianlong.
Actually, it's actually kind of fun. Yeah! It's actually kind of fun. I did a friend a favor recently. He had somebody basically cancel on him at a club that he worked at, so he had me go and MC. And I figured I would do a little bit of stand-up and introduce the other people. I didn't need to do anything, because if there's one thing that doing improv for furries has taught me, it's how to deal with heckling. And once I had mentioned the furry thing, the entire show went from comedy to sarcastic Q&A. And a gentleman in the front row, there with his girlfriend, and I was getting a little annoyed. I shouldn't have said it. He said, so what do you guys do then? Fuck dogs? And unfortunately, I said the first thing that came to my head.
Uh-oh, no more than you.
Sir, and I just pointed and shook my head. He left, she stayed. So thank you guys for upping my game in the sarcasm department. We're all bad people.
Do you remember the trouble I got into with that one reporter about 11 years ago?
Oh, a reporter or a radio jockey?
No, this was the reporter.
Oh, this okay.
When they got me in the wrong mood. I'm trying to run a goddamn convention here, and you people are taking up my time. And this person's like, oh, we want to go, okay. So I'm like, all right. And I was in the lobby, and this person, here it comes, I could see it coming. So, you people have sex in these suits? And I said, look around you. Does it look like any of these people have ever had sex? Oh, I got hell for that.
It's a legitimately funny response.
Didn't get printed.
There is a trick, I wish I could take credit for it, but Xander made me watch. It's how I got into the show called 30 Rock. And I found out that if you give all of your answers in the form of a popular song, they can't air it because they would need to pay for the rights. So I like to give my answers in the form of Poker Face by Lady Gaga. They can't sew shit of me if they interview me.
Does this mean that I can quote Careless Whisper every time I get asked a question by someone?
I mean, you can, it just won't go very well. You're a dragon.
Well, I mean, if they come and ask me, it's like, Timma, what kind of wine do you like to drink? I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. If someone finds a wine that is named Guilty Feet Have Got No Rhythm, they are my new best friend.
Oh, there probably is.
I'm gonna try and make one now.
Please do not attempt Careless Whisper on the kazoo.
It's already been done.
So,
We don't need Pepper Coyote to come up with more covers, thank you very much.
I got a text message in the middle of the week. We are in a professional recording studio, and every real musician here is staring at nothing as Pepper Coyote is playing a slide whistle inside of a multi-million-dollar studio. Send help. Signed, Foxamore.
I kind of wonder, these guys walked in to Abbey Road Studios, and when Pepper Coyote opened up that nice silver inlaid case and pulled out a slide whistle, I'm just wondering if the technicians are like, what?
You know, they might have been saying that then, but I think it was more so as he conducted the orchestra in full fursuit.
With the slide whistle.
With a slide whistle.
I don't think you guys are giving those technicians enough credit.
Okay, they were there when the Beatles were there, you're right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there was one. Does that motherfucker wear a coyote head and play a slide whistle? Dude, Ozzy Osbourne wore women's lingerie and played a fucking vibrator. We're cool.
Pause. How do you play a vibrator?
Carefully.
Who didn't see that coming?
You just have to throw it a little harder, that's how.
Oh, is it a woodwind instrument?
You have to get it real moist. You know how you have to get the reed and just like get your lips all around it and make sure that it's got moisture all around it?
I would have think it would be more brass. That's dead. That was dead.
AV, just so you know, we have killed 2 of your microphones. We're so sorry. Yeah, probably batteries. Just batteries.
We hope.
We hope.
We hope.
Or playing the vibrator didn't go as well as we expected.
The microphone is not a vibrator.
Everything is a vibrator to a brave man.
Has anybody said the phrase in Pepper Coyote's earshot, playing the vibrator?
I really now just want to watch Pepper conduct an orchestra with a dildo. And like not something like like Bach. I want to see him like conducting Bach with a chance dildo. Bach fucking hands waving it back and forth.
All right, guys, I think we know the next CD that we're
leaving.
They're smart. Buzz, 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 buzz. Buzz,
Snip,
buzz,
snip,
buzz,
snip,
mode.
Can you play a dildo?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why not?
Why did you say yes so quickly? That's right, don't answer it.
On the advice of my counsel,
Tchaikovsky can play a can and you can play a dildo.
yes, it's like
Uh-oh.
what that was. Hello.
Hello, friend.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Careless Whispers, the Beerly Departed Homebrew Mead. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
When was the last time we were all on stage together? Was that
Last night?
No, we were drunk then. That doesn't count.
So you're saying the last 10 years mean nothing to you?
I don't remember any of it. I'm still trying to figure out who I'm on stage with.
Dude, I'm still trying to figure out how the heck you cleaned up so well, to be quite honest.
He does clean up well. Check this out. He's almost respectable.
I don't know. Is this Alkali business right now, or are we looking at the Jewish accountant from my bank account right now?
Oh, you know the worst part is, I thought it was appropriate. I'm going to be doing this. I might as well put on my suit. So I put it on. But like, I don't want to be too formal, so I didn't put on a tie. And then this son of a bitch saw me without a tie, immediately dragged me over, put one on. I turned around, and then he had a new tie. How do you grow ties?
I spontaneously generate them, sir.
Spontaneous tie bustion, basically.
Yes, he ate a lot of Tide Pods.
To put the tie box on this act.
Snip him, quick, snip him.
You have no idea how many not jokes I'm not fucking making right now.
He's not making the double negative.
Double Windsor.
Yeah? Actually, full Windsor, please.
Oh, actually.
We only tie full Windsors in my family.
Here's an interesting, speaking of ties, who knows the story of Bill Nye's bow tie?
Bill Nye's bow tie.
Do you know this? Holy shit, did you not know this?
No.
Bill Nye was at a convention, and it was one of his first times speaking in public, and somebody had given him a real bow tie, but untied. And he's trying to get it to work, and he can't quite get it. He had to be on stage in about 10 minutes, so you know what? The man is straightforward. He's good at talking to people. He went across the hall. Excuse me, I'm about to present. Do you know how to tie a bow tie? And the gentleman whose room he knocked on looked at him and went, yes. Would you lay down on the bed? This is a real story. Bill Nye, who needed this ready, okay, lay down on the bed, and the gentleman tied his tie perfectly. And as Bill stood up to leave the room, he turned around and looked at the gentleman. I need to ask something. Why did I lay down on the bed? And the gentleman took Bill by the shoulders, escorted him out of the room, and as the door was closing, said, I'm a mortician. That is a real story from Bill Nye.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that rocks.
Yeah. I love Bill Nye. He's such an amazing addition to our society.
We're just killing him. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just imagining.
We haven't slept in days. This is as good as we can.
I'm just imagining right now, like the next opening to that classic Bill Nye series, like Bill Nye featuring Bow Tie the Mortician guy.
Yes, Bill Tie the Mortician guy. I like it.
Bill Tie the Mortician guy.
Yeah, I had an incident. We find humor where we can, even the most horrendous instances. Years ago, when I was still with the Red Cross, again before I found out that they're organized crime, really, I gave out the money. I know where it's from, and I know where it goes. That's another story. Let me know if I say anything actionable, okay?
Oh, you're fine, says the non-lawyer.
No, you're completely not fine, but I haven't been retained.
Hold on, if you
I didn't know he was into that.
I'm going to need an Oxford full of quarters before I give you any legal.
I never heard it called that before.
No one search up Boozy Badger Retained.
We have a boot full of nickels.
No one search up Boozy Badger Retained on Perfinity.
I said it wrong.
I was.
You gave me crap.
There was a horrible circumstance. This was in Arkansas, in Pine Bluff. A dreadful, horrible man had kidnapped a young girl and had murdered her, and had buried her body in a state park.
Just lighthearted family fun.
Lighthearted family fun, and they had called in the Red Cross to kind of not only help, give refreshment, food, and water to the guys doing the searching, but also to put these big trucks in between them and the media. I got a lot of training dealing with the media, dealing with disasters. That's where it came from. But at one point, we got donated from the local Pizza Hut. They brought in like 40 pizzas. And they dropped them off, and I'm like, yay, great. And I'm like, I can get these guys pizza for dinner. And I opened them up, they hadn't been cut. And I had nothing to cut the pizzas with. And this nice older gentleman with a big Santa Claus beard and a red checkered shirt came by and said, excuse me, sir, you don't by any chance have any idea where I can get a knife, would you? And you need a knife. This is Arkansas. He pulls out this giant, 14-inch switchblade, tosses it closed to me, said, here you go. So whoa, machete. So I'm slicing up the pizza, and the sheriff came up from the woods, and I said, hey, sheriff, I got pizza for your guys. And he looked at me and he said, we just found the body. The boys don't want pizza. I was like, uh-oh. So I'm sitting there, okay, we're, all right, yeah. So I'm sitting here with all these pizzas, what am I going to do with these? So some of the guys came up, yeah, they were hungry. I gave away about half of the pizzas. And it was starting to get to the end of the day, and they're wrapping up, and I want to give this nice knife back to the nice gentleman with the beard. and some of the deputies were heading back up. I said, "Hey fellas, do you know where the older guy is with the red shirt?" And they looked at me and they said, "Who?" I said, "He's about 60 or so. He's got a white beard, red check shirt." And one of them said, "Oh, yeah, the medical examiner."
Oh.
If you see him, can you give this to him? I didn't eat pizza for 6 years after that.
To me, it's actually very strange. I get pizzas that aren't cut delivered to my house all the time. And it took me a while to realize what was going on. You see,
the pizzas are Jewish. Sorry.
My house's sitting area is towards the back of the house. The pizza men come to the front door. And I realized they weren't cutting the pizza because I am a very large mammal, and every time I order 2 pizzas, they think I'm eating them alone, and it's way easier. Like, look, I like Mexican food, and all of a sudden that pizza tastes like Italy.
I just love the assumption of the pizza man that every time they drop off an uncut pizza in your house, I assume that they just think you strip nude and sit in the living room, folding them and crying.
I'm just eating, and just like Cookie Monster voice, like, pizza, good. Nom, 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 nom.
I will remind my friends on this stage that, like some of them, I run a convention. And the day after this convention, when everything is unpacked,
You'll be sitting in your living room nude eating pizza.
I will definitely be sitting in my living room in a robe because my fat ass will never touch my fat couch. And if they bring me a cut pizza, I am sending it back. And if Xander touches it, I will eat him too.
Now,
I will have you know Xander is a very vanilla dragon, and I know that because I ate him.
Plus, that sausage has been sliced from what I understand.
I must admit, Mr. Badger, myself, and Mr. Long, we all have an advantage over Mr. Alkali here. We can order silver Sharpies and have them delivered.
Do you guys know what the 99 Plus Club is? The 99 Plus Club is a meeting that the Fursquared board of directors has when we do the Amazon order for all the little odds and ends that the convention needs. And we found out that if you order 100 items on Amazon, it doesn't show 100 in your cart, it shows 99 plus. And as we put in the order, it rejected it because it would not ship silver Sharpies to Evergreen Park. And we were curious, and I work with a bunch of tech geeks, so it took them about 20 minutes to find out that those are used for gang taggings, but we use them for signing pictures. So all of a sudden, I think Chicago gangs are very into Picasso. I just wanted silver Sharpies.
They use them for gang tagging?
That is literally what they use it for. It was a gang-related thing that they will not ship them to Evergreen Park. I live on the south side of Chicago on the corner of Stab and Murder. I live on the rape side. We're fine.
I'm just trying to imagine right now in Southside Chicago where, like, you see, like, you know, this innocent, you know, sign of, like, I don't know, please stop at this four-way intersection, and someone runs up with, like, a silver Sharpie, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna write my name here, and it's gonna look cool. Yeah. Love John. That's so cool. And he runs off, and all you see is this silver sparkly like signature that's like this entire, you know, John Hancock style. Like it just glitters in the sunlight as soon as you stop by it, and you're so dazzled by it when you see it glaring in the sunlight that you just completely miss a stop sign, and there you go, another 2-hour jam at that intersection.
He is on the south side of Chicago. His next door neighbor is Mr. Leroy Brown.
I will say this, one of the last things my father told me before I took the car out for the first time as a young adult. And remember, if there's a mattress burning in the middle of the road. Just go around it. I don't know why. To this day, I have no idea what he was referring to until on Fox News, in the background of a murder scene, there was a flaming mattress in the middle of a road and a car that had obviously been blown up. I don't stop for anything anymore.
Did you see like a guy in the background just sneaking up to the car, pulling out a silver Sharpie and tagging it, then running off into the night?
You remember the classy days when they just put a horse's head in your bed?
I miss those days. I miss equine murder rather than burning mattresses.
Equine?
Equine.
He likes to make up words.
I like to remember words, and I'm not very good at it. I am the worst improviser. Half the time when I'm on stage, because I try to think a little bit ahead, I'm like, all right, I need a word for flow. What else is there? Dick. Dick? Dick. Is it dick? Should I say dick? I'm going to say dick, and then I get to the word, and I'm like, flow. Dick! Fuck!
Dude, I'm expecting your hotelies to run in at any point now, to be honest.
You called?
You rang for Dick? It is nice to have a hotel liaison named Dick, because every phone call from my room has been, I need Dick.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you is what is, like, if you use the system at Fursquared, I'm not quite sure, but what is, like, the call sign for Dick? Is it just Dick? Is it like, we need, like, the silver stallion? Is it like, we need the drunken dildo? What is Dick referred to at this convention?
I didn't know who this guy was. Alkali he's doing the chairman fingers, I ain't gonna interrupt him. Alkali told me about this gentleman. I thought it was the tall, broad-shouldered guy at the bar. I thought that was him, but then later on, Alkali introduced me to this gentleman who was down here. I said, oh, you're the little Dick. That's the first words came out of my mouth.
Imagine Drago turned into a biker. That's Dick.
I want to point out that while our con chairman was up here saying, Dick, 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 I was watching the back door. 3 Brookfield police officers walked to the door, stopped and looked dead at him as he repeatedly screamed the word Dick, shrugged, and kept walking.
That is actually something that has fascinated me. Those 3 Brookfield police officers and just the amount of things that they have seen this convention so far. I mean, they are like battle-scarred veterans, I'm sure.
They've seen worse, I guarantee.
But have they ate the meat?
Shut up! It hasn't been 2 years! Not yet, they'll know in a year. If you guys want to hear, let me describe to you the definition of fear. Definition of fear is meeting the new hotel general manager, and the first thing he says to you is, oh, you were the guy who took his pants off for money. Thank you.
Let me tell you how I deal with circumstances like that.
Oh, please.
Hello, Mayor Peduto, I have a small issue. Could you help?
Why do you have a small issue when you have your pants off? Are you trying to tell us something?
It is good to have the mayor of Pittsburgh on speed dial. But I'm going to tell you, is anybody filming this?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, never mind. Okay, lights out. I'm going to tell you a secret. I have the mayor of Pittsburgh on speed dial, and I have called. And I have said, excuse me, I'd like to speak to Mr. Peduto, please. Yes, Mr. Peduto, this is Sam Conley with Anthrocon. Yes, indeed. I wonder if I might ask you a small favor with the gentleman who's standing here. Usually at that point I get what I want. What you don't know is the other end of the line is saying, Mooney, Mooney. At the sound of the tone, the time will be 7:10 p.m. exactly.
See, that's the thing. I can't claim to have the mayor. I can't claim to have the chief of police. You know who I do have and who loves you guys? The Board of Tourism in the city of Brookfield.
Yeah, let's hear it for
They
it.
are amazing.
Is it just because they gave you a book of coupons bigger than the Bible?
They did
Book
actually.
of Mormon.
Yes, the Book of Mormon. I forgot. We're in Wisconsin.
They did say, it's like, would you be okay handing out these coupon books at your convention? Like, I would love to. What's in there? Like, oh, food, jewelry. I'm like, hold on, jewelry? You think a lot of my guys are coming here and buying diamond rings and without missing a beat? The director of the Board of Tourism for the city of Brookfield went, cock rings?
Now in 24 karat version.
We are never leaving this town. This is a 100% true story. One of the very first times I got to deal with the Board of Tourism in the city of Brookfield. It's a small office. There's a few offices off to the side. And in the middle of the meeting, a gentleman who is very new to what we're doing said, so may I ask you, what exactly goes on at your convention? And from 2 rooms over, I heard, don't answer that!
This from the city, their representative council, you say.
Yes, absolutely. And I had to say, like, why not? And without missing a goddamn beat, don't ruin the magic.
Since when did Kage become legal counsel for the city of Brookfield?
I love our township guys. They have been wonderful to us. If you didn't notice, those bags that all your stuff came in, those coupon books, and a few other things, that was all donated by the city of Brookfield. They love you guys so much.
And if you did not notice that all the coupons for the jewelry store were missing, blame this guy over here.
I'm a Jew. I'm opening my own jewelry store. I needed a diamond cock ring is just unfeasible and would cut.
What? Snip. So, Mr. Badger, if I could ask, when are you going to start a furry convention in your hometown?
Fuck it, never.
Every one of us have said that.
Yep.
We've got basement Philadelphia.
They do have basement.
I have something none of you have. Common goddamn sense.
He does. Yes, he does.
You're in a dragon costume. You're an idiot, and I think I died 2 years ago. You win.
I swear to you, somebody looked at me once and they said, you know, when one of these guys retires or dies, you'll end up the chairman. I'm like, if they try to make me the chairman of like Anthrocon, I will dig Kage up and weekend at Bernie's that fucker.
There is a drop-down one for Affinity for that, by the way.
That's your con theme.
You do realize that Kage's already written one of your sons in as the inheritor of
Oh, actually, yes. Henry is listed as the person.
Beneficiary, yeah.
Yes, if I die, Henry's chairman.
Hold on. Something just happened. I don't think a lot of people know. What is Henry to you? What's Henry?
Oh, that's the young boy whose bed I slept in with Boozy's hooker.
What? He's my cat!
Oh, because
Cat's bed he slept in with my hooker.
I need to know something. Do you guys know what Henry is in reference to the Dragon Show?
Do we need to?
Henry is the 13-foot dildo that Bad Dragon uses for a table at Anthrocon.
That's my 10-year-old son's name.
Well, sweetie, he is a bit of a dick sometimes.
Spoken like a wholesome, loving father.
You know, someday this boy is going to be like 23
Watching
years
this on
old
YouTube.
at his wedding, and Daddy's going to get up to give the speech, and he's just going to play the video with us.
Dude, it's going to be remixed. This is going to be like top 10 like singles released in the year of Henry's wedding. Like, dick.
Swear to God, if none of my kids play horse cock at their wedding, I will be disappointed.
Boozy, I need you to promise me something. At some point in your life, a dance at one of your daughter's weddings, the first dance with their father, needs to be to horse cock.
Oh, definitely.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, we know which one's getting it.
Live performance.
Yo, you guys don't understand. My wonderful, sweet daughter who was up here with us earlier, oh, she is more fucking twisted than I am. Like, just consider, like, I can't wait to start wearing bras so I have a place to hide my knives. My first reaction is, sweetie, that would hurt. My second reaction is, wait, you have fucking knives?
Why has your daughter turned into a ninja before most Asians do?
This kid, you may have seen her this morning wandering the convention with her friends who she forced to help her sell Girl Scout cookies. A, within an hour, you all had bought every fucking box of Girl Scout cookies we brought, which is over 100 boxes.
Oh my God.
B, she is the top sales girl of her troop 3 years running. And why? Because, because she is heartless. This child's like, she's sitting there one day, I'm like, how many cookies did you sell at your booth? She goes, not very many. But we never do at the Dunkin' Donuts. We really got to go to the Walmart to get the people who feel bad if they don't buy. She's going to Walmart the next weekend. She's walking out of the fucking house, clothes mismatched, shirt with holes in it. We're like, sweetie, go change into nice clothes. She's like, no, people buy more if they think I'm abused.
See, that's what I'm thinking right now. If she just goes to the Walmart and she stands there and she says, "You see these cookies right here? You see these cookies? Yeah, you don't buy these cookies, I die."
Yeah, she's like, please buy some cookies from me, mister. My parents won't love me if I don't get the merit badge.
My dad's...
Poor thing. Then she like fucking climbs in the car, goes home, and plays on her PlayStation 4.
My dad spends all of my food allowance on furry conventions. Please buy these cookies, mister.
You know, I have my mind's projecting about 25 years into the future. I won't be around, but I know this is going to happen. It's going to be Mint Kitten's house, and her little boy, this gentleman's grandson, is going to say, "Mom, I want to practice my violin." "Shut up and put the fursuit on, you little piece of shit."
Wait, you're saying that's not right now?
I don't know.
She plays violin.
What?
She might request both.
She might.
Paw Patrol's off.
Oh my God, put it back on!
We're going to die! I do have to admit, there's a pang of jealousy every time I hear you talk, because me and Xander had talked a long time ago about adoption, and I do apologize. Xander, are you out there? I'm going to borrow a line from my mate, because it was the most honest and heartbreaking thing he has ever told to me. We were drunk one night, and I said, "Xander, have you ever considered adopting children?" And he looked at me and with a totally straight face said, "Dude, I've left my laptop on the top of the car before driving away." And I love my laptop. He's an honest man.
I still think you all should give it a shot. As a matter of fact, I happen to have extras. Would you like them?
You know, that's one theme I've been noticing this convention is, like, we're playing, like, Boozy daycare roulette at this con. Every hour I'm seeing a different guardian for your kid. What is happening?
Daddy's only got enough love for one at a time.
And people buy more cookies if they think they're abused.
The only one of my children in the room right now is the one who doesn't speak and is entranced by Paw Patrol. Hey, Ezra! Hey, Ezra! Hey, Ezra! Hey, Ezra! Not a fucking thing.
Shut up, you old fucker.
I think think he just learned to tune you out early because you're a lawyer.
I think PG-18, or what is it, rated 18 plus, actually means just ignore Daddy. It'll all be good.
Okay, guys, Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol or this? Really?
Now, Paw Patrol's got some fucking... That town has some issues.
What do you mean?
They have a budget problem. Their entire emergency service is a homeless kid and 7 feral dogs.
You know Paw Patrol was created by furries when it gets a lawyer riled up.
No, I'll tell you what, my kid is so cute. He stands there now since he's discovered Paw Patrol. He goes, no job too big, no pup too small. Then he puts on the hood and goes to the lobby.
What the shit? Wait,
Don't
what
touch
kind of
those
a hood?
puppies.
Don't touch those
Doggies, they're dirty.
Here's the thing. I do appreciate things like Paw Patrol because I realize you can still find stuff like that as an adult with a little bit of chemical help. And since I don't care about my well-being, I can say this. So there I was, smoking a lot of fizzy cherry cola. And as I'm sitting on the couch, it was a indica type of fizzy cherry cola, so I was very couch-locked. And my loving mate, my wonderful Xander the Blue, as I'm sitting there, I thought I was watching TV, wasn't on. He took the VR machine from PlayStation 4 and affixed it to my head. So I took a short nap. When I woke up, he had turned on something called Tetris Effect. If you don't know what Tetris Effect is, allow me to describe it to you from the only state I've ever played it, with fizzy cherry cola on my brain. Fizzy cherry cola is weed. Wanted to make sure you knew, because I've been drinking enough that I don't care. Also, I live in a state in which it is legal, and that is the state of denial. So, he put this device on my head, and once it turned on, I found myself looking down onto Earth. And I screamed. And that woke up my roommate, who I didn't know this at the time, but walked over and went, hold on. Is he playing Tetris Effect while on fizzy cherry cola? And Xander said, yes. He went back to bed and set an alarm for 5 hours from then, so he made sure I would go to bed. 5 hours from then, he came out and made sure I was not in bed. Tetris Effect is Tetris in a 3D world to music. Every time you move or rotate a piece, it adds to the beat of the song. Everything that you are seeing is a total, full encompassed encounter. And I will say this right now, it is one thing to be in virtual reality when you accept reality. But if you are enjoying fizzy cherry cola and somebody just shits all over reality and says reality is Tetris now, you don't sleep and Fursquared almost didn't happen.
In other words, if you ever want to experience Asian Persuasion 101, do exactly what this man experienced.
But the only thing I remember, and the only thing I feel bad about, is a single line. A single line that woke up both of my roommates, and I'm sure all of you understand it. In the middle of the night, in a totally darkened house, I screamed out, "Fuck you, line piece!"
Line piece.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and a pleasure to introduce you to our fifth panelist, Lord Pandaz!
And his balls.
And his balls.
Woo! Pandaz's balls!
And his sphincter.
Pandaz, it is so good to have you on the panel tonight. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have.
Yeah, no, I was helping with the charity cupcake panel.
Yeah, I know, because you said
Wait a minute. Wait, time out. There was a charity cupcake panel?
Time out! Pandaz, there's a fat guy rule. We don't admit to the charity cupcake panel. It's just us in our rooms crying.
That would have been better.
I was going to say, is this like the newest hustle by Mint Kitten? First Girl Scout cookies, now charity cupcakes?
So, the charity cupcake thing was there were 36 cupcakes. Half of them were normal cupcakes. Half of them were filled with things that would never normally be in a cupcake.
You had a 50% chance of dying. That's what you would do for the kittens.
Pepper got the sriracha one. Ooh. Oh. I got wasabi. Oh. And salsa. I want to say Huskun got the beef bouillon. Yeah, there were some interesting ones.
I remember this.
Ask you a question.
Yes.
What is Intro to Linkage Systems?
Let me make something very clear. Tobe and Huskun are in charge of programming, and when I asked them, would you mind sending me the programming schedule so I could look it over? They said, you're just the con chair, not my mom, and never sent it to me. I have no idea.
All I know is it has 6 people going. It says it thinks it's about carabiners.
Carabiners, is that?
Carabiners. And there's no other information about it. And I know last year you had that trigonometry panel.
We don't talk about the trigonometry panel.
Why not?
Math.
Because it might give people ideas for Anthrocon.
Math. Math.
What's actually statistics?
I have to admit, hanging in my basement right now is a poster that somebody made discussing the trigonometry of beer pong. It is hanging behind my soundstage for the Dragon Show, and it does grant me a lot of inspiration. I will say this till the day I die. Furries are the most creative people on the planet. Also, you're basically batshit crazy, and we are basically funding all of the psychiatrists. Cheers!
Don't drink. Never mind.
I won.
No, we are furries. Muzzle tough.
Muzzle.
Merzel talk.
Merzel talk.
Muzzle tough.
I have to pick up all my chips.
He's got to pick up his chips. Oh.
Pandas!
Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
You just showed up!
Yep.
Pandas!
Yep.
Sing us a song.
Oh, Canada.
You really want me to do Canada?
Yes.
You didn't do it earlier.
Yeah, you didn't do it last
Is
time.
Mike working?
Pandas, I would like you to sing Oh Canada, but between every line, pause, and we will translate for you. Begin.
Before he begins, am I excluded because I happen to also be Canadian?
No, you have to do it twice now. Shut up. Des, go!
Oh, Canada.
Pause. What does that mean?
It means, oh, Canada.
Next line.
Our home and native land.
They took it over. It was really easy. There was no one else there except for snowmen.
I guess I'm standing, sorry.
Do it.
I'm tired. True patriot love.
Ronnie, true patriot love, what does that mean?
Homoeroticism, that's what
Got
it
it.
is.
Okay.
What this man said.
In all thy sons command.
Keep it in the family.
Dominatrix.
With glowing hearts.
They're on fire.
We see thee rise.
They're dead.
Rise.
You know what it meant.
The true north, strong and free.
The 51st state.
From far and wide.
We all know what that means. Let's just let that one slide.
Oh, Canada.
America's baby.
We stand on guard for thee.
So the Russians don't steal it.
God keep our land.
Until we need it back.
Glorious and free.
Full of free healthcare.
Oh, Canada,
Land of maple syrup.
we stand on God for thee.
We're tops.
Oh, Canada,
We can hit high notes.
we stand on God.
It's really just a stomping thing. I can't remember the name of the fetish, but you know.
For
More than 3.
Play ball!
Let's hear it for Bandaz! Bandaz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Why, were we coming apart?
It's a real stitch to be here.
It's a good thing he's here to keep us together.
You are really sowing the seeds of dissent. We're
Sniff,
punning
sniff.
now. Damn it!
This entire thing's coming apart now. Come
Damn
on.
it!
I thought this was tailored to the audience.
Boozy, isn't this like your panel? Shouldn't you be doing shit here?
Oh, I should be, yeah.
Wait.
What is that guy saying?
I comedy better when I have a Jew.
One thing that I wanted to ask, it was just out of curiosity, because it's my first time up at this panel. What exactly is monkey knife fights?
A very good betting proposition.
Is that with or without legal counsel?
Much like international waters, everything's legal at Fursquared. True story. Go try whatever you want to try tonight.
Do not listen to this lawyer. He knows not what he says.
You want to kill a man? Have at!
He's not licensed in this state.
I would love if...
You know what's really satisfying? Defecating in the lobby. Let's go.
I would love if at this point the Brookfield police walked by, looked through the door at these 5 panels and just went...
Do you want me to break his other leg?
I will say
Triple
this.
fight.
I do adore all of you. I appreciate you being here, but every
There's a
once
play.
in a while, you do something that is totally inappropriate. Now that being said, honestly, as long as you are adults about what you do, it doesn't bother me. But one time, one of you did something that I was almost not okay with, because I was in a meeting with the general manager of this hotel, standing outside in the lobby, and he asked me loudly, so what's the worst thing that I could expect?
Oh, God.
3 separate furries went, ha, and walked away. That did not help me.
That was me, Duncan Husky, and... What?
Speaking of Duncan, I know he's not in here. I want to send a special thank you to my good friend Duncan, who brought both of his dogs to the convention, found me in the hallway and said, "These are your service dogs now. Pet them till you're happy." And I went, "That isn't going to, oh, you're such a good girl. I can run a con for one more day."
I was enchanted. He has you might have seen it, it's I think it's a collie mix named Charlie. It's blind. The dog is blind. And I was like, this is cute, it's blind. Let's have Citrine walk it.
I fucking love Citrine.
Citrine is amazing.
Citrine, before ACE, Citrine was trying to organize a comedy amateur panel with me. And I got held up in court that morning, and I told him, I said, I'm not going to be able to make it until after my afternoon court hearings, so I won't be there in time. He said, oh, okay. Well, I'll see you when you get here. And it took me 3 fucking hours. Like, I was sitting in the courtroom, and I went, that son of a bitch!
The judge said, excuse me, counsel?
So what I have done in revenge is Citrine does, on occasion, use a reader application for Twitter on his phone that will read out tweets to him. And there is a way, I found out, to write a description of pictures you post on Twitter that this application will pick up and read, to describe what the picture is, to to people who need assistance with sight as it's reading through. So you see the picture, but somebody scrolling through who couldn't see the picture, it will read the description that you have typed in for them and only them. That's the only way you can access it. Oh, I've been fucking with Citrain. Here's a picture of my cat, is what you guys see. What I type is, here's a picture of a horseman getting rammed hard by a cheetah. Look at that cum. It's everywhere.
Jesus
Why?
Christ.
Because I know eventually Citrain's got to be using it in a goddamn airport where other people can hear it.
I will say this. Citrine is an unbelievable performer, and shameless plug. If you get a chance to see him, please do. And I will say this. Myself and Kage were there for one of his very first solo performances. Now, I'm an improv comedian. Here's how improv truly works. As you are coming up to the line that you want to be funny, that is what you are thinking of. And in my mind, all I could think of is, don't make a blind joke, don't make a blind joke, don't make a blind joke. But I couldn't think of a joke. And Kage went, and introducing to the stage, and I interrupted with, Mr. Magoo. I don't know what made me say it, but Citrine, without missing a beat, walked up to the stage with his cane, tap, 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 and whapped me as hard as he could in the legs.
Oh, Magoo, you've done it again.
And that's his response. Sam, we are terrible people, but Citrine is a wonderful performer. He's got a great sense of humor. If you get a chance, he can hit those high notes like, let me not say what I just thought of because it was worse than Mr. Magoo.
I was at ACE, Citrine bought a new fursuit head, and I asked him how it was, and he said, it's very nice, it fits well, but I can't see a damn thing out of it. Citrine is, and he is, like, he immediately says, somebody's got to make fun of it, it's gonna be me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Citrine is, dude, always make fun of yourself. It's way kinder coming from you, and it's way funnier when your friends hear it and go, what?
And behind all that, you have a genuinely nice person and a genuinely amazing talent.
Oh,
Just
unbelievable.
amazing.
Unfucking believable. There, more shameless plugs from us. Go see Citrine.
Yes. By the way, he's blind. In case you didn't get that.
Oh my God, we never mentioned that. Yeah, he's blind.
Some people out there
There's
looking like, what?
There's so many people that are like, okay.
Okay, why is it funny?
It's not. I think we just realized we're just bad people.
We are.
Except for Pandez. Pandez is the first person that, like, how can you make fun of that amazing individual? Like, oh my God, we feel so bad. He's like, yeah, can't you see what you're doing? And then walks out of the room.
I think he can't see the point is what you're trying to say.
Well, that's the thing. As Alkali said, you need to be able to laugh at yourself. Citrine can make jokes about being blind. Pandez can make jokes about being Canadian. This guy can make jokes about being Alkali. I can make jokes about erectile dysfunction. Boozy can make jokes about being a lawyer and dragons. Help me, quick.
I will say, I did learn a lesson recently.
Bye.
In kind of in tune to what you were saying. I do live by a little bit of a code. I have views, I have political views, but I've always stood by one, and that is, no one believes something for no reason. And I want to know why you believe what you, that is conservative, that is liberal, that is every view out there. But in my mind, I could never figure out why people were so interested in border control. And then I talked to a Native American. They had a lot to say about border control. Everyone has a reason for believing what they do. I may not agree with it, but he proved a point.
Somewhat related, my nephew, who is a much better person than I will ever be, my older nephew.
He'd have to be.
has gone to Africa doing work. He's getting ready to go to South America to build schools in impoverished communities. Last year, he did a summer study in a very poor area of Los Angeles, doing outreach with recent immigrants to help them find work and to actually help unionize them, which is amazing. My nephew's just an amazing kid, really, really is. Now, over Christmas, the first time I had seen him in years. And we're sitting there, and I told him, I said, I'm really proud of you. You're growing into one hell of a man. I'm really proud of you. He goes, yeah. He said, the programs were kind of interesting. I said, really? Oh, yeah. He goes, while we were there, we had to do our family tree for one part of it. I said, uh-huh. And we had to trace it back to when our families immigrated over. Uh-huh. And then we had to talk about all the adversity they'd faced. I went, oh. Because my family's been here since the fucking Mayflower. How much adversity did you face? Well, we didn't have any mayo. The previous tenants really didn't want to be evicted. I mean, it's a bad day when you have to do that. But the thing is, and this is the great thing about it, is my nephew immediately had recognized that and basically went to the teacher and said, I really can't do this assignment without sounding like a dick. He went like, I can't, because we've been here for like 300 years. We came over and killed a bunch of people and took their fucking land. I can't really do this assignment without sounding like an asshole, and I'd much prefer if you let me go, I don't fucking know, get some more people to sign up for the agricultural union today.
You know, there is a specific reason why I resist doing any sort of genealogical research, and that is the absolute deep-seated terror that I will wind up being related to this man. Because that sort of shit happens. He discovers furry fandom. And it's like, oh, yes, you should come to Anthro. He comes to Anthrocon. And I say, this is my programming director. Say, oh my God, that's my cousin.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Anthrocon programming director we discovered is actually QM's cousin. And more than that, I have represented his parents in court. Before any of this happened, like literally, this is how they checked my credentials when they had me come to Anthrocon. They gave my name to the people who were scheduling, and he heard it, and he said, hold on a second, and called his parents and came back and said, yeah, that's my parents' lawyer.
Son of a bitch.
I ain't doing because I will find out either that I'm related to him or to Pepper Coyote, and either one I'm just going to know.
What if you're related to both of us?
That would actually make a lot of sense now that I think about it.
Fucking NTN Long's human assistant.
Well, I don't mean to say, okay, Tian Long's human assistant is a wonderful guy, but I don't think he's 100% Chinese. I'm just saying. I think there's a white guy in the woodpile is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, Genghis Khan wasn't that active around the world. I mean, maybe in Asia, but I don't know how far he actually got into Europe.
If you go to Canada, there is a certain Chinese population. Not one of them wears plaid except for Ronnie. He wears plaid on a routine basis.
Well, wait a second.
What?
Isn't he from Canada?
Yes, he is.
So, him wearing plaid is like a police officer wearing a uniform. That's like you get issued.
Are you saying plaid is the national color of Canada?
Are you saying it's not?
Shit! I will say this, I'll never forget it. I used to play Nero in a chapter from Canada. I went up there once a month for 3 years in every fall, spring, and summer month. And I'll never forget my first encounter with Canada, and it's why I fell in love with your guys' country. Passing the border, I saw graffiti. Now, I'm from Chicago. Graffiti is usually like, blame Ted, or Steve rules, or I'll murder your family.
Booze, pick it up.
Booze.
And all the graffiti he just mentioned, it's all written in silver Sharpie.
Oh, silver Sharpie, all of it. But as I enter Canada, right over the border, I'll never forget what I saw. I saw a billboard that said, 4 Canadian Army men died inside of Afghanistan. And underneath it in graffiti it said, entire Canadian Army wiped out.
Years and years ago, I was reading a news article, and it was about a ship that was breaking the Iraq oil embargo.
Yeah.
And it had been stopped by a Navy and boarded, and they found all of this oil on it. And it read, Canadian Navy stops oil freighter with contraband. And my only reaction was, who the fuck gave Canada a Navy?
Now, there is an old-time furry, goes back to the early days, Wolf Kid, that's his actual name. Tell me if I have to stop.
And you go finish with us.
Wolf, he is into military reenactments. His specialty is the War of 1812. And back in the 1980s, Wolf and his troop went up to Canada, to Kingston. They were doing a reenactment up there. And they came back across the border, and the American customs agent pulled them over and said, what do you have to declare? And Wolf said, okay, we have 14 flintlock rifles, we have 12 pistols, we have 4 12-pound cannon, we have 18 casks of black gunpowder, we have 24 mortars, 6 aerial rockets, and is that it? That's about it. And the border guard looked at him and said, do you have any fruit? He said, no, all right, get on your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. This one is 100% my fault. I thought we had an hour and a half. We have 1 hour, so here's what...
It's your conference, shit's sake. You know what you want.
I do nothing. Huskoon, are you in here?
Fuck you.
You're setting up for the next panel, right? Yes. Guys, here's what we're going to do. Let me finish this, and then we'll talk. Huskoon, if you would set up behind me, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to continue.
All this stuff's going to be in front of you, but if you guys want to go till 10:30...
Thank you. All right.
Can we watch Huskoon set up behind him? I just want to see this.
Guys, this has been Monkey Knife Fights. We're still going to keep going, but I want to remind you this is a charity panel, so I'm going to say the same thing I always do on charity panels. If you can give. If you don't know what it's going to, this is going to HAWS, the Humane Society of Wisconsin. This charity has been with us for years. I can't tell you the good that this convention has done for them. I will never be able to describe one thing, and I'm going to make it through this. I'm going to make it through this sentence. I had to have a conversation with the woman who runs that society, and neither of us made it through it without crying. Guys, what you do does not go unnoticed. There is a plaque in the Humane Society of Wisconsin for all of Fursquared for what you have done. I'm going to pass around the hat while Huskoon sets up behind us. We're going to tell one more story. If you can give. If you can't, guys, don't worry about it. We're the furry fandom, and we take care of our own. And our own are those animals who can't help themselves. So before we finish with our final story, I want to give one more thank you to Lord Pandez! The unbelievable Boozy Burrito! The unbelievably buff Tien Long! The surprisingly buff Uncle Kage! And what happens when Chewbacca fucks Jabba the Hutt? My name is Alkali.
Did you say Jabba the Hutt?
Shut up. The hat is going to be passed around. Huskoon, feel free to set up what you need. I can't throw it because there's already money in it. We're going to tell you one more story. But before we do that, we're going to determine which one it is. Does anyone want to end with one of our classic stories? Are any of you prepped to tell a classic furry story?
I can tell a very short story.
Would you please take front stage? Actually stand for this one because I think Huskoon needs to be back here.
Oh, right.
We're going to clean behind you. It's going to be loud. Sorry. Guys, let's
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, for one final story, let's give it up for Uncle Kage.
I'm really not accustomed to speaking in front of people. I am sometimes asked, there was some drama a number of years ago at Anthrocon. Yeah, it never happens. For a long time, the manufacturer known as Bad Dragon had been a dealer in our dealer's room. And at one point, they were no longer a dealer in our dealer's room, and there were questions asked, and we kept quiet about it. There was some speculation. I should, at this point, maybe tell folks, Bad Dragon, they're outstanding dealers. They were exquisite. They followed the rules. They did everything we asked them to. The problem wasn't so much Bad Dragon. The problem was the fact that Anthrocon, for whatever reason, is under a particularly intense media spotlight, more so than many other conventions. It was becoming increasingly difficult when I was showing reporters through the dealer's room to go by that and say, now look over here if you would please. Pay no attention to the folks behind the big banner over there that says Bad Dragon. It was a very, very painful decision for me. I mean, these guys are cool. They're great. I have nothing ill to say of these folks. They're magnificent businessmen and they're very, very fine folk. But the tipping point came when you have to understand, Anthrocon has a very, very good relationship with the unions in Pittsburgh, particularly at Teamsters Local 289. And, Stan moves here. The Teamsters are really wonderful. They kind of get together. They know that the Anthrocon truck and everybody's going to show up on Tuesday at the end of the day, so they're waiting for us. It's like this welcoming committee. These wonderful, rough and tumble blue-collar Teamster guys. It's great. We show up and it's a big party atmosphere. I hop out of the van, I go running in, these guys are waiting. Hey guys, hey Sam is here. Hey guys, hey Sam, how you doing? Big group hug, slapping on the back. And we'll not forget that year. Hey guys, Sam's here. Hey Sam, oh, this wonderful, so good to see you. Party great. Hey, listen, there's 3 pallets of dildos with their name on it. What do you say? Oh yes, those. Just send them to my room. Because you're afraid of what the next question's going to be. Why do you need so many? Well. Hi, Pandas.
Hi. I have trash.
Oh, what? No, don't say that bad. Never mind. Oh. I'm going to tell one more thing because it involves you.
What? No. What?
Yes, it does.
Oh, why?
It was something you told me, and I'm going to speak for you because you're wearing my tie.
I am.
At the Fursuit Parade meet and greet afterward at Anthrocon. We have our parade, and then we invite members of the public to come in. I don't know if you remember because you were totally shit-faced at the time, but
yeah.
Now, okay, this guy was like a total nervous wreck, and I was like, it's okay, Alkali, nothing to be worried about. Everything is running very smoothly here at Anthrocon.
I think you have this totally backwards, but keep talking.
I remember it very clearly. Alkali,
you are shit-faced.
You should relax. Everything, haven't you noticed how well things are going? And all these folks were coming in, the folks in the city of Pittsburgh, and they're talking with the fursuits. This gentleman overheard a little tiny voice from a little girl. I'm going to let you tell these folk what you told me, what you overheard this little girl say.
You're an ass.
Oh, no, that's not what she said. That's after that.
Shit. I've never been able to say this one. This was a
deep breaths.
He needs some liquid and curd.
Okay, give me that tequila, please. No lid. Don't give me the lid. Thank you. That is way better than the pacifier.
Know what to do. Never mind.
We were at Anthrocon, and I was walking around, and I was walking past a family.
Deep breaths. I'm having him do it because I can't.
The young girl looked up at her mother and said, "Mom, it's like every one of my stuffed animals came to life."
That's why we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. This has been Monkey Knife Fights with the overly emotional, sobbing, drunken idiot Alkali Bismuth.
The unbelievably, this is not a microphone. Guys, I want to give a quick thank you to Lord Pandas, to Ronnie, to Boozy Barrister, to Uncle Kage. If you want to see this again, anytime you see us at a con, we try to entertain you. I haven't counted what's in the hat, but once again, don't forget we do this for you. We are the Furry Fandom, and this weekend you are making so many lives possible. Hawes is a no-kill shelter. You have saved so many animals. Guys, I love you to death. Thank you very much for being here. This is a very heavy boat! I did not know I was that far over.
Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.